Cerebral palsy is a group of disorders caused by brain damage or abnormal brain development. It leads to children having difficulties on walking, talking, and seeing. A few years ago, I worked on a project to develop a low-cost assistive technology for children with cerebral palsy. While doing this project, I realized the importance of user experience in clinical settings and the products available for them. This is how this project started.
The patients, the younger patients, if they're 2 years old, 3 years old, that's about the time where they're starting to get a little bit more autonomy. They're not wanting to get braced, or they're just scared of the whole process. Especially if it's their first time rather than they've gone through the process. We're not using plaster, but it's still fiberglass. It's still that doctor environment. They're unsure what it is that we're going to do. They're not used to getting their foot wrapped with a cast. And then we bring out the tools, scissors, and they know that they're not supposed to have scissors, especially near their skin, and we're putting it right against their skin. So if we could somehow improve that or get their mind off of the thought of their foot being trapped in this cast, or somehow to be able to relate to it, it would be a better process for the kids.
The objective of this study is to improve user experience in casting and fitting of orthotics. We realize throughout the literature that children create attachment to inanimate objects, being them plush toys, other types of toys, and the famous blankets. And we thought, oh, why not? To bring a teddy bear in a clinical setting when a child goes to have their legs casted. Multiple healthcare settings and products provided to children in the rehabilitation process are not properly set up for them. In many of the cases, they are just rescaled size from adult to children, often leading those children to not be willing to use it, not participate or cooperate in a clinical setting, or even abandon the assistive technology that they need to. The main sensitivity that we see while doing research with children with cerebral palsy, often forgotten in multiple studies, is that those are children. They want to play, they want to learn, and they want to understand what is this world about. And this is a core aspect that we kept in this study. And how do we make a study in which they can enjoy the process, they can participate, and we can have positive outcomes out of it. What we're doing, when the child has an appointment, we will be there with a teddy bear. When the child is having their legs being casted by a clinician, we will be casting the teddy bear at the same time. When the child finishes the appointment, this child takes the teddy bear home as a strategy to develop attachment to that object. And once this child comes back on the second appointment to fit that orthotics, we will be there with the exact replicas of the orthotics that that child will have. With the same patterns, the same straps, and the teddy bear, we will have that orthotics as well.
The last one that we just had, it was probably the hardest cast that we've had. And I think it'll be great as we go forward that now they take that bear, they go home with the bear, they both went through this experience together, and then they'll be returning, and both get braces then, go through that fitting process. I think it'll be interesting watching them start walking with the braces and see the bear with the braces, and then see how it goes at home, because now maybe that'll help them go through that process of, oh, well, Bear's wearing his braces today, I'm gonna wear my braces too.
What is the best way to interact with children and make them engage with certain activities?
As part of our research, we create a series of storybooks to help children with cerebral palsy and other disabilities to understand clinical procedure with ease.
We found out that Through visuals, children understand better the world around them through various techniques in design, such as role play. The main goal of this storybook is to actually have children to have a relatable figure that show them that they are not the only one with those limitations, but also have something that they can look, understand, and doesn't have all the technicalities that is normally given by the healthcare system.
This project was created revolving around introducing orthotics towards children that are in clinics, because it's pretty intimidating to go into clinics and doing this entire foreign process. And it's more of like a healthy, friendly introduction to how they would cast molds and receive orthotics.
A lot of children and their families go into these procedures not knowing what to expect, what's going to happen, and there's not a ton of documentation on that. They kind of just go there and it gets done. That can be really scary or traumatizing for some kids. So this is just a way to ease them into that, teach them about what's going to happen so they can have a character to relate to and just kind of follow along with this story of seeing how they're getting done, what the main character Maple is getting done, and just kind of find a way to relate to each other.
This series of storybooks for children shows the stories of a teddy bear that goes through multiple clinical procedures. This teddy bear goes through rehabilitation processes, it goes to clinical appointments, it has all his colleagues joining in with several other disabilities.
Kids like coloring, kids like storybooks, children like activities of that nature. And I think, this really rounds up the whole ecosystem from a child's point of view, that I have a teddy bear who is going through the same journey as I am. And then I also have a storybook which tells me about the progress that both of us together will be making.
It's very important for children to know that their experiences are not something they have to be ashamed of or afraid of. And it's really important to take the child's point of view with that, which is why we're making a book, because we're targeting the children and trying to get them to understand what they're going through, not just say making the parents understand. We're really trying to make the children feel comfortable.
The future plans of this project is to develop tools and improve user experience to provide to those children a better rehabilitation process.